Good morning, and welcome to another amazing day. If this view looks a little familiar, it should. I'm at my sister's, we're puppy sitting. PR's out here doing her investigative services. We have Mr. Amigo and Mr. Loki. He's got a leaf on his snout, and we've got those high wispy clouds and a beautiful bright sun ball there. And speaking of beautiful, how are you, my friends? Talk to me. Tell me what's new and exciting. It is Friday, and the weekend is upon us. What are your plans? Sometimes it's just making it through the day. And I can completely understand that. And anyway, what have we got going on this weekend? Anything new? Anything exciting? Just out here taking a little walk. Let the dogs out earlier. These dogs are my sisters. They're very early risers, and that is not a me thing. I will tell you what. They want to be up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, get up, let's go. Like, yeah, no, that is not wake up time. You need to go find something else to do. I am going back to sleep. And then again at 5:30, and then again at 6. So around 6, I was like, okay. It was a little before 6. I said, okay, I'll get up. I'll get up. So I did. Kind of have to watch where I'm walking here and probably adjust that. I don't know. I feel like I'm awfully close this morning. I'll turn you around though. There's Loki. I don't know where Amigo is. And PR. We can walk together. The view is way prettier to look at than I am. Doggies out exploring. The sun is so bright. It's so beautiful. A little bit hazy. Just a little bit. There's the mountains for her backyard. There's no way I'm getting up early enough to give you a sunrise. Not now. Because the sun's coming up so much earlier. I really would have to be up at 4:30 to give you a good sunrise. I'm sure she'll continue to travel. So when the time changes again, the weather change. Well, we don't get a time change here. You all have time changes if you're watching outside of Arizona. So, how was my sleep? My sleep wasn't the best. I don't know why. I had a hard time falling asleep last night. Part of it could be because Amigo was outside barking. I don't know if there was something on the property that he felt didn't belong on the property, but he was quite vocal about it for a long time. So there was that. And look at that boy over there. You know, that's cactus. You're going to get poked. Might stay away from that. Was there a bunny in there? If there's a bunny in there, you can leave the bunny alone. But that's cactus. So I didn't sleep fabulously. I shouldn't say I didn't. It's when I slept okay, but it was like a 2 o'clock in the morning thing by the time I fell asleep. So, what's a little kid playing, honey? So anyway, that was my sleepy time. How about you? How did you sleep? Well, I hope you slept well. I got a phone call yesterday from the lady that does my sound baths, Carrie, and she's gonna be moving. I wish her well, but she's moving soon, kind of thing. So, yeah, these are all big lots. You can see this is the fence, but then there's the property adjacent to my sister's. What are you doing in there, Loki? You see him? Mr. Man. What are you doing in there? All right. So, anyhow, Miss Carrie is moving. So she's not going to be able to do her sound bath that we have scheduled in August, or the one after that, obviously. But wanted to give her a farewell sound bath. So went ahead and scheduled one for Saturday, July 11th, like 8:15 p.m. So if you're local, come say your goodbyes to Carrie. Enjoy one more sound bath with her. I know she does them online, but it's so much different when you're actually there. So I will, of course, she's going to make a little flyer and I'll post it. So we'll have all of that information. And I will talk to another lady about doing sound baths if she's interested. And we'll get back on schedule. But isn't that kind of life, right? Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. I mean, I was over 30 years in South Florida and just up and moved. In a matter of 1 month, we decided that we'd go ahead and make the move. And it wasn't anything we had planned. Nothing at all. We just came here, looked around, saw a couple houses, went back home to Florida, and Jeff asked if I wanted to move. And I said, well, I keep working harder and harder to stay right where I'm at here. So yeah, let's go. And we made that decision. I want to say it was after Thanksgiving. So really it was just a month's time, because I would come here to Arizona to visit my sister for her birthday, which is in October. And we went home. And we didn't talk about it right away. Just kind of one of those out of the blue things that my husband brought up. And then talked about it a little bit. Decided, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. And I want to say it was after Thanksgiving, we put the house on the market. And it sold pretty quick. I'm going to say, by the end of February, we closed. And it takes a long time to close in Florida. It doesn't take a long time to close here. You can close on a house in Arizona in under 30 days. That amazes me. Oh. So, got the boys over here, Amigo and, or Loki and PR. And then Amigo must have had all the romping and stomping he wants because he's laying over there in the driveway, kind of waiting, I think, for me to finish and get back. Entice them into the house with some liver treats. But change is good. I think change is good. I think that sometimes we get stuck. We stay with what we feel safe with. But sometimes it's good to challenge that, right? Helps us to become a little more resilient too. Okay, here's PR and her splooting. There she is in the dirt. She was walking around and she just flops down. Oh, such a good thing she's going for a groom soon. Anyway, talking about change. And sometimes life offers us change that we would rather not have. And you know, even when we consciously make the decision for that change, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean that we aren't going to be sad. Because we can be sad and excited simultaneously. You know, sad to leave my friends in my studio in Florida, but quite excited to get here and start something new. And not that there was anything wrong with the old. Really, it was a purely financial decision to leave South Florida. Got to be ridiculous. And I do mean ridiculous. I couldn't imagine being there now with prices having gone up on everything as much as they have. So, although I understand their gas is less there than it is here. Which I guess makes sense because at least they have the ports, you know? We don't have any ports here. Everything's going to be driven in. But yeah, sometimes change is scary. Sometimes we get very complacent in life. We're kind of used to everything being the way it is. We get that comfort level. And then we don't do anything to better ourselves, anything to change. And then sometimes that change is pushed on us, and sometimes we realize it and we make the changes for ourselves. Where are you going, Loki? Stay over here, butcher man. Stay over here. That's what I call them. I call them my mans. I call these boys my mans. Anyway, we'll have another talk on change. I think that'll be a good topic on change. Whether we initiate that change or that change is thrust upon us. That'll be a talk for another day. So we just touched on it today. And I'm sure that you've all had change. We've all had people pass away in our lives. We've all had a job change at one time or another. Whether we switched jobs or we've retired. They're all adjustments. It's all changes. So we can all relate. That's like a really relatable topic for us. We will go deeper into that on another video. But in the meantime, I'm going to get these boys in the house. I'm going to get myself out of this part of Dodge and into town so that I can get to the studio and teach my yoga. And I will see you very soon. I hope you have an amazing day, a fabulous weekend. We'll of course touch base tomorrow. And I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing, but I'll take you along. I'll see you later. Have a good day.